Well, welcome back everybody. This is Corey from CJ Custom Fishing Lures, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be painting a topwater popper, a very classic topwater bait used for bass. And this is our 3.5 inch popper. Now it is in a bone color. We are going to paint that over, but I'm just going to show you right from the beginning. You can see the mouth of there, but there's also the opening down the gills, and I really like that one because the water gets to splash through there, giving that a little extra splash, a little extra attention. I did pick these this popper up and several other ones from Backwater Outfitting out of Texas. I will put the link in my description about being able to get the blanks from there, especially if you wanted to check these out. These are very good topwater bait. We do have the mouth here that we're going to be doing the painting and the sides. It's a very easy pattern. Today I call this one Midnight Galaxy, and you'll see as it comes to play on how this works out. But just as we start every single lure, we need to put a base coat on. And our base coat for this lure is going to be Createx Opaque White. I've been using Createx for a long time. I like the way it covers. I also am going to be using my Nero Hawada airbrush, just a very basic airbrush that I use to paint my lures. Someday I might invest in a more high quality, but I don't mind using just a basic airbrush. And it helps to show that I think the words from Charlie Tiller that I used to watch from JR Outdoors, or I can't remember exactly his name, but he said if you can do this with basic brushes, you can do it with the more expensive ones. So he would always use a very basic brush, and he painted fantastic. And so I took that from the lead with him. So just like we always did in the last two videos, we're just going to get a base coat on this. So I got my opaque white, and I'm just going to go over the bait. Now granted, the bait is already in a bone color, and you could just start painting over top of that. It's probably going to give you a little different hue of some of the paints than if you put the whole white base coat on it. But since I need to have white on this lure, we're just going to paint it right away in the base coat of white. And I'm going to make sure this has a good coat on it, because the belly of this lure, at least, is going to be white. So I need to make sure that is good and set and ready. So that once I have that on, I'm going to be using my Word Pro heat gun. I believe I got it from Harbor Freight, or I can't remember, maybe one of my kids got it from Amazon or Harbor Freight. Works great. I put it on the low setting, and I heat set the baits with it. As you see, I picked it up off the floor. One reminder I like to give is when you have your heat gun you might want to have it set someplace, but just remember that if you put it down on the ground, make sure your hose for your airbrush is not near it. I did that one time, and all of a sudden I lost pressure because I burned a hole through the hose of my airbrush with the heat gun, with the tip of the heat gun hitting it. So be careful where you put that and make sure it is in a safe location. You don't want to burn yourself, and you don't want to ruin your equipment. So, all right, I think I got a good base coat on here. Right. Nice white base coat. I even got the mouth of that. All right, I'm going to clean out my airbrush really quick so we can put the next color in. And then we'll give it a quick heat set for this. Now, hopefully you've tuned in to see my other two videos on painting lures, where we painted a 1.5 square bill in a fire tiger pattern, and also I did a topwater popper 100 in a perch pattern. So I hope you had a chance to check that out. If you have, I ask you to please like, subscribe to the channel to see what other videos I will be putting out. And again, if you have any suggestions of videos, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them, and I'd love to read your feedback here. I'm one for learning and trying to grow and trying to improve myself. I'm constantly watching other painters to see what they do. So if you figure you stop thinking you've learned everything and stopped growing, and then we know that you just stall out, I should say, and you don't continue to perfect your craft. You don't continue to challenge yourself in what you do. So constantly learn, constantly watch videos, constantly try new things to do that. So I have that on there. Now I'm going to be using my pearl white. As you know, if you've been watching the videos, and if this is your first time, I like to put a base coat of opaque white on, and then I come back and I put a nice little coat of pearl white to give it that little shimmer, that little shine, to bring that extra life and sparkle to the lure. You don't need a lot, since it's already pearl white and it's going over white. Coats on really, really nice, as you can see right there. Today I'm going to clear that out right now because we're going to do something a little different with this lure. I don't know how much different it is, but usually I save my paint shifter toward the end, which I do have a paint shifter toward the end. But what else thing I'm going to do is, since I'm going to leave the belly of this bait white, I'm going to put a white paint shifter to go with it. Now it's already got a lot of sparkle with the pearl. This is just going to add a little more. It's going to give it that something else. And the one I'm going to use is from Turbo Dork. It's called Pearly Gates. All right, and you look at it and it tells you that it's good over a white base coat. So we're going to shake this up because we got to mix it in the gun. Now I'm going to probably spray it over a good portion of this, but I'm also going to focus on the bottom. Now, since I find that this to be a little thick, I always kind of dilute it with the Createx reducer, and that's the 4011 reducer. I just put a little of the Turbo Dork in, a couple drops of the reducer, put my finger on the tip, push down for pressure, and just lightly pull back so it pops up and mixes. And it prevents me from having to stick something in there and preventing from break off and jam into my gun. So turning the popper over, just going to spray it with the paint shifter underneath. I'm going to come up the sides as well. On top, it's going to be okay. We're going to be painting that as well, but to give it a little extra shine, a little extra sparkle. Now, why are we doing this? As I've said, if it's that one little thing that catches that fish's eye and it allows you to land it, then that is a really, really great thing. That's one little trick you've got up your sleeve to help you catch fish. I have some lures that I'm trying to figure out if it's the color pattern, it's the way it's painted. We tested some different paint jobs I've done on them, painting the bills, not painting the bills of the lures. It's all about trying to find out what the fish are looking for, what they want, and what they will attack. So I'm going to heat set this, and I already see the difference between just putting the pearl white on and then adding this Pearly Gates paint shifter on the bottom. And I hope you can see it here in a second. I put it up there. See if we can get it up there. You can see it. Gives it just a little more shimmer, a little more shine. Almost gives it a little different color hue underneath, which is what we're looking for. So right there we have the base of that lure. Now I need to do the top of this, and to do that I'm going to be using Pearl Black. I'm just going to be going over the top, and my goal of doing this is I'm going to paint down the center of the lure. I am only going to go in one direction, where you see me painting and the other ones going in multiple directions. I'm going to try to keep going in the one direction to make sure it kind of goes evenly. And from this, I'm going to go from the back forward. Reason I'm going to do that is because the mouth is going to be red, and I don't really want to have to fight black paint already in the mouth. So I'm going to go from the back to the front, painting it, and then letting it, trying to focus right down the middle here, the spine, and letting the overspray go. And if I have to, I'm going to branch out onto the shoulders right here on the bait, but still letting the overspray go down the bait. So just going right down the spine. And when I get to the end, pick up and I come back down. As you can see, I'm going down there and you can start to see the overspray coming on each side of the bait. So I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to do this till I get to the darkness that I want on top. And it comes to your preference. You might be good with it being light. All right, I want this to, I think that looks really cool. I want to come down a little farther, so I'm going to start to hit the shoulders just a little bit. Not a lot. Do the same thing on the other side. Remember, keeping the mouth away because I am going to be painting that a different color. I don't want to fight putting black in it. So the thing I'm going to look is I can say, okay, is it about the same on each side? And I think that came out pretty good. I actually kind of like that. So then I'm going to come through, I'm going to darken the eyes up a little bit. I believe I have this pattern. I usually do a little of a red eye to put in there. It makes it really pop. It really looks, I think it looks cool. I think it looks kind of sinister looking too as well. So, oof, there we go. That looks kind of good. That looks kind of cool. You could fish that right now. You could fish that bait right now if you wanted to. But we're going to add some more fun to it. We're not done with this bait. So let me clean out the black out of the airbrush. And we're going to start to do some of the highlight colors before we add in the last bit of paint shifter. As I said, we are going to paint the mouth. We're going to paint that in a red. And for that, we're going to use the Createx Transparent Bright Red. We're going to use the Bright Red bait. So, paint, not bait, sorry. Put a little in. Remember, we're only doing the mouth, so we're not going to do a ton in there. And our goal as we do this, as we're shooting in, we want it to come through that opening a little. And here on this spot right here, we want to see the red start coming in there. I'm not going to come on the outside and spray red here. It's not going to look good. But you sit here and you spray in, you're going to see it come through and give it a little bit of that shadow, nice little look to it. And also the lip around, I'm going to try to make all solid red as well. So let's give it a shot here, see what happens. Red is one of those colors that sprays really heavy, so I put it on really low pressure. I want to get a little more on the edge, get a little on the inside, let the overspray do the work. You can see it coming through the sides. That's what we're looking for right there. Look at that, that's kind of cool. It even got down underneath a little bit. That's kind of really cool. Now, we have a couple choices here. We can leave this as it is because that looks great. We could extend the red down underneath, but I'm not going to extend the red, and I'll show you why in a second. I like to put another color to help out to give the fish a target, because we know that this is a top water bait. So we know that it's going to be going under the water when you pop it. We know it's going to be sitting there, and we want the fish to focus on something to come hit. We just don't want them to be shooting and missing, which happens a lot. So I'm going to put up a color there to give them something to aim for. All right? I'm going to give a quick heat set to the red. Man, this bait is looking really, really good. And we're really close to being done with this bait. All right, it'll be a great bait to go out and use, great bait to go out and fish, and have very lot of luck with it. But I'm going to be using a transparent orange. And for this, I'm going to be highlighting the tail end of this and right under the mouth. A couple reasons. We take a look at some of the bait fish that bass eat. A couple of the animals they prey on, I should say, the fish that they prey on. We know that perch have an orangish fin, and also toward the back. And also, you have some sunfish that have orange as well. So, twofold. We're going to hit back here and we're going to hit under here. So, right back here to start. Just right down the middle, right down the belly. Make sure we're not overspraying that. I've got to heat set it really quick, so it came out with a little bit of a bubble on it, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. We're going to give that a second to dry. I'm going to flip it over the other way first. We'll come back to that. We're going to come back and fix that. And we're going to go right underneath here. Nice and light. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's looking good. Bringing that bottom part to life with that orange. That looks really, really sharp there. Now I'm going to come back into the other side. Hopefully it's dried off enough. Just lightly going over top. Sometimes you get it a little heavy, get a little liquid on there, so you just got to be careful. And I'm going to hit the tail end of this with the orange. You have a choice. You could always do a black, leave it white. I'm going to hit it orange. All right. I think that looks pretty good. Looking at both sides, looking, we just got to come this way just a little bit. There we go. There we go. And that's what we got on the underneath. Now, you had a choice. You didn't have to do any of that. You could have left it just white. You didn't need to add any color to it, or you could have just put a little on the tail end or underneath, or you could have put red under here as well. Sometimes what I like to do is I'll put orange and then I'll bring a little red down underneath and give it that little look and blend that kind of color in there as well. That's a very kind of neat looking blend as well, and it's a very attractive pattern as well. You could do that to this bait as well. So we're looking right now, we have really a bait that's ready to go in the water, but we're just going to add one little more color to it, which really makes it pop, which really brings it to life. Really does wonders for it and gives it a different look than other baits in the water. Now, you've seen this bait, you've seen it done this way, but what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to be using Turbo Dork, but this color is called Rainbow Roll. That's what we're going to be using, Rainbow Roll. And I'm going to use it as a paint shifter, and I'm going to paint it just the way I did the black, where I go right up the spine. I'm going to go up the spine so it just covers there, and again, we're going to keep it out of the mouth area. I mean, you can spray it in the mouth. There's nothing that says you can't. This is just my personal preference. And I think that's one thing we need to really enforce when we're making lures, is it's good to imitate people's patterns, but also you got to make it your own. So if you don't want to do a certain thing, don't do it. All right, so we're ready to go. I'm spraying right up the spine. Ooh. Wait till you see this on camera. Wait till you see what this does on camera. We're going to give it a heat set. This is one of my favorite paint shifters to use. It's one of my wife's favorite to see on lures. And a lot of times if I'm out selling lures, nobody knows it's on there until they take it out of the package, and it's kind of a nice surprise. I'll even like ask people, say, hey, take it out of the package so you can see what's on there. You're gonna really like it. So we're not done yet. We're gonna put a little more on. Oh yeah. Okay. You don't want to get it too thick. We're gonna heat set again. Sometimes you put reducer in. I think I did here. I put that 4011 reducer in this, and I might have got it a little too runny. But all right, let's see here. Hopefully this is doing what I think it's doing. I think I got to mix it just a little bit again. It's supposed to give us a sparkle like a rainbow. And let's put a little in there again. Sometimes we don't mix things right. I got a little bit of the sparkle coming through, but I want it to be better. I want it to be better for this lure, be better for, I actually have a client that's looking for this lure. So I want to make sure it is the way it should be. We're going to give the paint a little more of a shake. I tried to shake these paints before coming on and making the video, so I don't have to shake them per se that much in there during the video, but we'll give it another shot. All right, put a little there. A little bit of the 4011 reducer tip. Mix it up. Ooh, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I think this might have done it. Okay. Put a little heat set to this. And this is all about how lures are, like, being creative with the lures, what you're trying to get out of them, what happens. You know, you're trying to get them to have a certain look, and got to keep working at it so you can get that look. I'm going to put it up to this light really quick. Oh, we got it. We got it. I don't know if you can see it, but it has kind of a rainbow effect on top with the sparkle and the light. I hope you can see it. I can see it on my light. It's a great feature to have on there, and it gives it just a little more of a look. So that is what we're going to paint with this lure today. Now, this one is ready for the UVLS clear coat. I use UVLS 4050 gloss. I mix that with a 4011 reducer, and I put a nice little clear coating over this, and then I will dip it into Illuma. After I put the eyes on, I will put it into the Illuma UV. Now, I used this the other day for the first time. I dipped the lure in here. I dipped one of my jerk baits in here, and within 30 minutes it was ready to go. And that was quick. It was even, I just wanted to give it that little extra time, but I believe it was ready before that. So hopefully you've learned something from this channel with painting this bait. I just want to review the paints with you in the order so you can remember. We started with opaque white. Afterwards, we did pearlized pearl white, again from Createx. We went to Turbo Dork and used the pearly gates to mostly bring out the bottom a little bit. Then we went across the top with our pearl black to give it that look. Then we came through and did the mouth with the transparent bright red. Then we did underneath, right under with the belly and the tip, the end tip with a transparent orange. And then we finished it up going back to the Turbo Dork and using rainbow roll. So I really hope you learned something. I hope you follow. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Hope you share it with your friends, and hopefully you can go out and make your own baits and be successful on the water with them. Now, again, you might not want to do this with a black top. Maybe you want to do it in green. Maybe you want to do it in red. You can do that. Make it the bait you want it to be. So hopefully I gave you some ideas, and I will put the finished pictures at the end of this video. So please watch to the end so you can see how it comes out in the final product. So thank you for tuning in. And again, this is Corey from CJ Custom Fishing Lures, and I look forward to talking with you again.